happy Thanksgiving. I feel very ill prepared, but I did buy this about 2 months ago. So I guess we're ready to cook Thanksgiving dinner. I have, first of all, way too many recipes. That's not even the recipe, that's literally one recipe. This is the list of things that I'm making today. I love that I wrote, here to impress without the stress. And then I have a list at the bottom, like if you have more time to do it. And I feel like I'm getting started a little late in the day, mostly because I went to the dentist this morning. The perfect day to get my Invisalign trays out. Ding! Because now I get to like taste everything I'm making. When I tell you I'm pumped, I'm pumped. It also took like 3 hours out of my day. I could have started cooking 3 hours ago, but I'm gonna make the most of it. I'm gonna get started on my stock. Listen, I have some new recipes to share with you guys. We've been cooking Thanksgiving dinner together for many years now, but I still have new recipes. And then I also have some traditional recipes to share with you because of course, we gotta have a traditional Thanksgiving and some appetizers, some desserts, a lot of desserts I probably won't even get to because I like to overload my plate. And then I have one recipe in particular where I'm like, a friend requested it, so I'm making it for them. Don't know how it's gonna turn out. Maybe it'll be a new favorite. It's chopped liver, okay? Once we get the stock going, then I will start on that. I'm actually going to wash my veggies because I have yet to do that. I think I actually decluttered. I decluttered my big stock pot that I normally make my stock in. That was a great idea. Great. I'm gonna check the garage. I feel like I have something out there. Oh crap, I don't think I can put that one in the oven. Oh, what have I done? See, take the lesson. This is why you don't declutter, especially right before Thanksgiving. Oh my gosh, I can't use that. Well, we're off to a great start. I'll tell you what. Okay, here we go, I'll use this one. The one I use for my sourdough is like completely burnt. I'm not using that. The first thing I'm gonna put together is the stock. And if you don't make homemade stock, I would really encourage you to give it a try because it is far superior than anything you're gonna find in a box or at the store. It's actually really easy to make, minimal ingredients, and oh my gosh, the flavor of this. And I'm gonna use the stock to make the gravy and also make the stuffing. So the flavors will be dispersed throughout the entire Thanksgiving meal. Well, you know, a few dishes. I started out by putting some celery in there. I also put a few carrots, just chop it up. I don't measure anything, just like plop and drop. I have the stems of the parsley. That way when I'm making more dishes, I can use, you know, this good stuff. Even though I think parsley smells like grass, it's fine. And then I'm going to quarter the onion, throw it in here. Slight oversight, it also calls for garlic. I forgot to buy garlic heads when I was at Costco, so I'm just gonna take like a handful. I took convenience and bought some of that. Also some thyme, gonna throw some of this in. A couple of bay leaves, I hope I have some. Oh joy, these might be 5 years old, but it's good enough. Couple of those going in. And I don't think I have peppercorns because I don't care enough to keep them around, so I'm just gonna add some pepper. Not sure I have oil either. As you can tell, I'm really prepared. I made my meal plan literally yesterday. You guys, not only is it the holiday season, it's also birthday season for us. So things can get very hectic very quickly, but look at, we're still hosting Thanksgiving. It's still a great time. You gotta see this. That is a good looking stock pot right there. So I'm just going to mix it up right after I take a picture for the gram. And then I throw it in my oven, 411 degrees for about 20 minutes, just until everything's nice and roasted. Really just gives it another layer of flavor. Do I cover this? I don't think so. And then once it comes out of the oven, I'll add more to it. Yeah, my oven is dirty, like fine. Don't look too close, okay? The next dish I'm gonna throw together is a new dish. I don't typically make sweet potato pie or casserole, whatever it's called. Pecan crunch sweet potato casserole. And can we talk for just a second about how most of my recipes were found through Instagram. And a lot of people, one, put them in the caption, love that, thank you so much. I took a screenshot of the caption and printed it that way. Some recipes were linked to a blog post that did not have a printable thing, so I'm like sitting there, half the recipes I didn't even end up using. I spent a lot of time just writing recipes down. And then of course you have to like comment, and then if you wanna go back to it, I have to like, you go to the page and do all this stuff. It's crazy. see. It's a whole process, and I'm the type of person who wants something physical to look at when I'm making the recipe. I'm not a huge fan of like looking at my phone. It turns off every 4 seconds. I have to like, anyway. I'm gonna tell you something. The stuff in the oven smells so delicious. So the first thing I have to do for my sweet potatoes is peel them, cut them. I know a lot of people do this different ways, like they just bake them all together. And that's the joy of cooking. You can do it a multitude of ways and do it however you prefer. This is not my normal peeler. This feels so unnatural. Ah, here we go. Of course, I'm making traditional mashed potato as well. I like to use the Pioneer Woman recipe for that. It's just I haven't found anything better. And there's actually 2 different ones. I don't want to complain, but like my fingers hurt. Well, now your back's gonna hurt. Once I get those all peeled, I'm going to dice them up and then boil them. And then the inside of this dish, which is why this is dangerous, slippery potatoes. Works every time. This is kind of like a layered casserole, or maybe a stuffed casserole is the more appropriate way to word it. And I've never seen one like this before, and it's from someone that I trust. I wanted to make her dessert too, her like crispy, Rice Krispie brownie recipe. It is supreme. I didn't buy anything for it. I still have time though. There's still time. The stores are still open. Dice it up. I need a pot. Way too much water. I still have to salt the turkey. So the recipe calls for 6 sweet potatoes. Listen, these are Costco GMO sweet potatoes. There was a runt of the bunch, but I feel like it's fine. I'm just gonna give them a chop on the old wood block. I'm putting the potatoes into cold water. And one thing I'll tell you, if you're making mashed potatoes, which I didn't know until I got slammed from people on the internet, was that you need to use, it's not an opinion, okay, it is fact. You need to use Yukon Gold potatoes. If you are using russet potatoes to make mashed potatoes, you might as well just leave Thanksgiving, okay? Just don't even show up, apparently, according to everyone on the internet. Man, I got blasted. All right, that's gonna boil over for sure. It's fine. And do you hear that? It's the timer going off. It took me 20 minutes to dice and peel 6 potatoes. This is what people mean when they say cooking is a labor of love. It takes time. It takes love and care to make all this stuff. All right, this smells really good. So I'm gonna add the rest of the stuff over here. Okay, here's the thing. You're supposed to add half a cup of white wine to this to like deglaze it. I don't think there's much to deglaze here. Maybe I didn't let mine roast enough. I also don't have white wine, okay? It was an overthought. Life goes on. I thought about using water or chicken stock, but I'm gonna add water in here anyway, and I'm making stock, so that doesn't really make sense. Instead, I'm just going to add about 2 pounds of chicken wings, and then I'm just going to add about 12 cups of stock of water to this. I'm just gonna let it fill up. All right, before I've measured it, and it's just, who cares? Look at that, 12 cups exactly. Give this a little toss. Kind of scrape the bottom just in case there are some tidbits down there. Ooh, that looks like a good pot. All right, bring it to a bubble and then let it simmer for hours. Really nice. Welcome to my homestead. I guess it would help if I turned it on. I was scouring my pantry looking for white wine, and I actually do have a bottle that Alex and I got when we lived in Italy in 2008, right after we got married. I just don't think like me cooking stock for Thanksgiving dinner is the perfect occasion to open that. For the layer that is going into the sweet potato casserole, the cinnamon filling. All right, I bought a ton of butter yesterday and I can't find it anywhere. BRB. I'm gonna tell you one of the joys of having kids, especially teenagers, is the fact that they make a bunch of baked goods and then my containers are empty and I get to refill them. For the cinnamon filling, it calls for 6 tablespoons, but a little more never hurt anyone. I'm gonna soften it in the microwave. Melted to perfection. And then I'm going to add 1 cup of flour. Seems excessive, but okay. And 1 cup of brown sugar, which somehow just doesn't even seem like enough, right? Plop that in. Should've got a bigger bowl. And cinnamon. Wait, did I buy the right cinnamon? You know, I have someone in the family who doesn't like cinnamon, and I'm just like, how do you even get through the Burr months? September, October, November, December, really the rest of the year without all of the lovely cinnamon treats. Even just like cinnamon oatmeal. Calls for 1 tablespoon. I'm gonna do a heaping tablespoon and maybe even a little bit more, okay? I'm actually not sure if I like sweet potato casserole. It's a little too sweet for me. Usually has a little bit too much cinnamon flavor for just my taste. Are you sure about that? I used to have a pastry blender. This would be a great place to use it. If you have, what are those? I always call it a pulse grater. Literally, that's just what it's called in my brain. Food processor. This would be a great time to pull that out. We just want like a nice crumbly consistency. Actually, don't use the food processor, don't use them. Ooh, this makes me want to make cinnamon ornaments. I can already tell this is gonna be a good one. All right, what's next? Hey, what are you guys doing for Thanksgiving? We normally run around to like 1,000 different Thanksgivings. We have hosted for the past 5 years and it has been a joy and a half. Except for all the cleaning, that's not joyful. Joyful, joyful Lord, we adore thee. Oh my gosh. Hold on, you tell. I was in Avelina's room talking to her about hangers. Can't do Thanksgiving without hangers. Well, I guess the sweet potatoes are cooking. What's next? Things are getting crazy out here. It's been like 10 minutes looking for the pecans. It's just so unnecessary. Why are you being so loud? Oh my gosh. Enough! Bring in noise. Bring down the house. You can feel it, get your party now. Say, come on, let's raise the roof and get loose. Lose your mind. You can feel it, get your party now. Say, Alexa, why'd you stop the jams?
Hey, I don't stop the jams. I just pause them for dramatic effect.
Rude. Probably for the best. She knows I'm gonna get a copyright strike. Okay, the topping to this calls for same ingredients, flour, brown sugar, butter, but also the addition of pecans. If this is gonna continue for the next 20 minutes, I'm out. Oh, is this boiling? That's probably what's happening. All right, calm down, calm down. Oh my gosh, quite on set. This is so ridiculous. I'm just taking the lid off. That is driving me crazy.
Sorry, what was that?
I don't know why you keep pausing. Keep going.
I'm not trying to be the world's most annoying DJ here.
Play Britney Spears, you drive me crazy. This is not it. You know what drives me crazy? My Alexa device drives me insane. 1/4 cup of butter. All right, it's a little melted. All right, I'm moving on because I couldn't care less. 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, and I got a bowl that is too small because I need a couple of pecans. That's a cup, good. Oh! I get to eat while I'm cooking. You don't know how good this makes me feel. It's been a long 9 months. Speaking of, my favorite Thanksgiving was the one I spent in the hospital having a baby. I got to watch the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade uninterrupted, except for the crying newborn. But she was pretty tame. It's actually her 12th birthday today on Thanksgiving. I didn't have to cook anything, I didn't have to clean. I got discharged on Thanksgiving, went to the family's house, drank some hot cocoa, not gonna lie, almost passed out on the couch. Like not in a good pass out way, but in a I'm so dizzy, oh my gosh, I think I'm dying kind of way. I passed out like 3 times after I gave birth to her. I'm fine, it's fine. Isn't childbirth like so traumatic? That was the best hot cocoa I've ever had. I'm gonna tell you that for free. Been trying to chase that high ever since. I wish I was joking. I'm gonna add my 1 cup of pecans. I just, you know, I feel like you gotta go above and beyond, especially for Thanksgiving. This is way more than a cup. And then I'm gonna coat it in the bread mixture. Did I say bread? Whatever. What's your favorite Thanksgiving memory? Or your favorite Thanksgiving dish? Pretty sure the sweet potatoes are done, and if they're not, yes they are, because I simply don't have the patience to wait any longer. Ooh, they smell good just on their own. And I am going to throw, ooh, nice little steam facial you got going there. You good? I'm gonna put them back in the pot. I still have some stuff to mix in. I think I literally am going crazy. You drive me crazy. I looked all around for this. I knew I had some, couldn't find it anywhere. Guess where it was? Last place I looked, look, it's not even open. I think I have multiple jars of this. Guess what else I have multiple jars of? Pumpkin pie spice, probably 8 every time I go to the grocery store. Ooh, surely I need more of this. No, I don't even like it. Buy it anyway. All right. So to the potatoes, should I give these a mash? Just a nice little mash, just not much, just enough. Oh, these are perfect. I don't think I've ever made potatoes this perfect. Honestly, for me, butter, salt, pepper, I'm good to go. I figured out what was wrong back there. I had it on like high heat. I just put it on simmer. So we should be good to go. I throw the potatoes back in the pot and that just allows the excess water to absorb so we don't have like watery potatoes, okay? We want potatoes to taste like potatoes, not like water. Oh, I forgot I put butter in here to melt. Half a cup of butter or a full stick. Yeah, that's the stuff. And then I need half a cup of brown sugar, which I don't have enough. I'm gonna have to fill this jar up. It was inevitable. Half a cup of brown sugar. I tried to delay the inevitable, but all I did was like break my nail polish off. Ooh, annoying. Half a cup of milk, room temperature. Whatever, mine's not. And then I have a little bit of vanilla. This is vanilla bean paste. A little bit of this, and we'll have like that vanilla speckled through. I just think it's so fancy, and it's definitely Thanksgiving worthy, holiday worthy, that kind of thing. It just elevates it, you know? Also some cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of this, 1 teaspoon of nutmeg, and then I'm gonna crank in a little bit of salt. So I'm going to take half of the filling and I just like level it out in the pot and take half of that, score it down the middle. Perfect every time. Spread this out. Then for that middle layer, I'm just gonna scatter the butter, brown sugar, flour mixture right all over the top of this. How could this not be good? I kind of feel like my casserole dish is not big enough. And then put the other half of the mashed potatoes on top of that. And then what's crazy is that there is a topping and I am going to scatter this over top. This looks amazing. Oh, I was supposed to save a little bit of the filling for the top. I didn't do that. You're also supposed to put mini marshmallows. I'm gonna cook it tomorrow. So if you're cooking it right now, mini marshmallows over top, which, oh my gosh, where? And then cook it at 350 for 30 minutes. Boom. I say boom, but that literally took me an hour. So moving on finally. Tidying up my workspace, trying to figure out what is next, which I think I'm gonna just prep the turkey, okay? I can't screw this up. I've screwed everything up. Oh my gosh. I've screwed it all up. There's no turkey in the turkey stock because it's in the turkey. Oh my gosh, I'm supposed to take the giblets and giblets and liver and neck out of the... I gotta go. Also, I forgot to add the eggs to the casserole. I'm going to bed. Okay, it's going to be fine. I'm gonna fix it. Oh, deep breaths. I'm gonna grab the stuff out of here, throw it in there. I'm gonna put it, wait. Where's the rest of it? Are you kidding me? Where, oh, is it here? Hi. Where are the rest of my goodies? Are you joking? Did I get gypped? I'm gonna be so mad. Are they hiding somewhere else? Like, here they are. All right. Heart, liver, kidneys, whatever it is. I'm throwing it in here. This stuff is so delicious. Eat it out of the stock once it's cooked. So I'm gonna throw that into the oven. I'm just gonna put a little bit of salt, pepper, oil on it. I might as well put my organs in here because I've ruined Thanksgiving. You know what I'm cooking next? Chopped liver, because that's how I feel. I have unsurprisingly never made this before. When my friend showed me this is what he wanted, I said, are you joking? Dog food? Starts off with sliced onions. He said the New York delis, woo! Dumb flies. The New York delis have the best chopped liver, and he said they were sweet. I assume that's from the onions. So it calls for 2 onions. I looked up several recipes. They're all the same. Is this a traditional dish in your house? Let me know what a traditional dish is for you that maybe other people have never had, because I've never had this. I have had liverwurst before. That's like a pate. Didn't like it, but I grew up with it in my house, like on a regular basis. All right, so I'm gonna take these to the stovetop and caramelize them. I'm trying to make schmaltz over here. Listen, I don't know if Publix sells schmaltz, but I'm about to make a ride up there. I'm about to crash out. I'm watching a video on how to make schmaltz. 3 pieces of chicken, and this is all that I get. I just needed a break. I need a moment to reflect on every wrong decision I've made today. Cheers to you. The only right decision I've made today is buying a tres leches cake on my way home from the dentist. Hashtag no regrets. Can we just eat this for Thanksgiving dinner? Do I really need to make stuff? Next year I'm getting the Costco Thanksgiving dinner and calling it a day. This is so dumb. It's not even cold anymore because I don't have any space in my fridge. I feel like I've done nothing. Screwed it all up. That's what I've done. Friggin' schmaltz. Okay, back to business. Time to lock in. I told you I was gonna do the turkey next, and then I started on this. You know, it all started today when I woke up. That's it. Look up. Baby crying. Didn't eat the watermelon I bought. Well, I guess we've got a good base here for the chicken liver. I'm so embarrassed. Oh, this is the worst. Okay, I've got that going. And I did chop up my onions. Okay, a little bit more fine. I gave them a dice. I'm gonna toss them all in here with the schmaltz that I do have, which is just chicken fat. You know how you get chicken fat? You cook the chicken skins. It takes a lot of chicken skins, apparently. To the onions, I'm just gonna add a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. The salt is gonna draw out the water, which also draws out the sugar in the onions and makes them really sweet. Check on the stock while we're at it. Oh, you know what's still in the oven 5 hours later? Tonight's gonna be a good night. The good stuff right here, and I'm going to dump it into the stock. Where are my tongs? I might have a freaking crash out. There they are. Okay, this is gonna give it so much flavor. I dumped the drippings in there too. Now we're cooking. Okay, problem number 1 is fixed. These have been cooking for, oh, I don't know, forever. But they look nice and caramelized, aside from a few rogue pieces in there, but I'm done waiting. So I'm gonna put this aside. I'm gonna dump it into my food processor. Next up, I need more schmaltz. Spoiler alert, I don't have any. So I'm making some more. I got another 4 pieces of skin on bone-in chicken. I know you're just supposed to get the skin, but like, whatever. You know, I'm putting in a lot of effort in a dish that no one is going to eat. No one's gonna look at this and be like, what's that? It looks so good. No, they're gonna look at it and be like, oh, gross. Why do you have cat food on the table? Ooh, I don't know where my cheese grater is. Oh my gosh. Where is it? Found it. Guess where it was? Last place I looked. All right, I do have to shred some eggs. Let me finish that in a minute. I'm gonna do the turkey. I forgot how to do it. I'll figure it out. All right, I got a nice looking turkey over here. Hello, my darling. Hello, my sweetheart. Hello, my pudding pie. Cute. It's a 20-pounder, I think. Someone put me out of my misery. The wings of the chicken should also be going in the stock. This is why I normally do the turkey first. I'm all out of whack today. The butcher taught me how to do this. You just crack the wings off of this thing, like so. This goes in the stock. They've got 2 wings. The schmaltz is not looking schmaltzy, I'll tell you what. For the bird, I don't buy a brine, I don't do anything, and I feel like it all tastes the same. It really does. Have you ever had a superior turkey? All the turkey I've ever made or had has always tasted the same. Whether it's fried, whether it's, 4 days in the making, total brine. Honestly, the best one I ever made was when my oven was broken and it cooked all day at like 175. I'm gonna emulate that again. Ton of salt, a little bit of pepper, a little bit is subjective, and I'm gonna let this sit overnight. It'll soak up all of that salt. The brine is mostly salt anyway. And then tomorrow I'm going to add the aromatics and even more flavor that way. But for now, turkey is done, and I should have done that 2 hours ago. There's a party going on around here. Well, if you were unaware, they do sell chicken livers at Publix. This is what they look like. And oh, I just gotta tell you, like, I feel like we should be eating this stuff once a month, you know, for that iron. So I'm gonna take this to my stove. I've been cooking out all of the chicken fat. I feel like the fat is just getting absorbed into the chicken. I'm doing this so backwards. Here we go, I should have washed that pan. I'm actually so annoyed. I'm gonna cook it in this one. Why can't I make a good decision today? And then I'm gonna put the chicken livers in here. Just let them cook. Let them do their thing. Don't be afraid of the chicken livers. Amazing. There they are. Salt and pepper really are the MVPs. I'm going to add just a little bit of salt and pepper to these. Whoa, a little bit too much pepper. That's okay. You like it spicy. Give them a little mix. And then let these cook low and slow. Apparently, that's the way to go. I have 3 hard-boiled eggs, and I'm just going to shred them. Apply nice, even pressure. I think the palm of my hand will probably do it better. There we go. If my friend isn't impressed with this dish, I'm losing his number and never inviting him over again. He better tell me this is exactly how his grandma used to make it, or I'm done. I just dropped my food processor top. If that broke, I think I'm giving up on Thanksgiving. You think that might be me being dramatic? I don't think so at this point, okay? I have some parsley here. I'm gonna give it a rough chop. The dude had, oh my gosh, I cannot mix onions in with this, hold on. It had like a lot of parsley, so I'm just following suit. I don't remember this being in the other recipes, but it was topped with parsley, and he's just like putting some on the inside, which makes sense. So I'm just mincing it up, which is unnecessary because I'm putting it in a food processor, but here we are, okay? Good news, I just tasted the stock. It tastes incredible. She says to wait until the end to add salt. I'm gonna add it now. I don't know what the point is of waiting. So I'm gonna add this before I forget to add it. I'm adding a pretty liberal amount. 1, because it's stock, and 2, there's a ton of water in here, so it's going to be fine. Perfect. I'm just checking to see if the livers are done. Oh. Yeah. You know, I have some regrets in my life, and this might be one of them, but maybe with everything, it'll taste really good. I'm going to take the livers and let them cool a little bit for a couple of minutes in the food processor. I'm gonna put this in the fridge because I have no patience. There's no space. Let's finish this puppy up. I've got the chicken livers and onions in there, and I'm just gonna pulse it, okay? Whoa, 2. Because we do not want this to turn into cat food. We want to like mince it, but I don't have a mincer. I've got a pulse grater, and you work with what you got. Let's see what we've got going on in here. Oh, I may have pulsed it 4 times too many. I even got a new serving bowl for this. That's how excited I was. Okay, I'm gonna put the eggs in here and the parsley, leave a little bit to top it with, and I'm just going to mix it all together. Organy. I'm just gonna give this a gentle fold. If someone served me this, I would immediately depart. Gotta clean it up anyway. Sad to report, I got my Invisalign trays out for this, okay? I'm gonna give it a taste test. It should be eaten with a cracker. Just putting that out there. It's better than I thought. somehow still disgusting. No, I can't believe I just made that. I would like to forget everything that just happened. Okay, we're starting anew right now. You know, I think it just needs more schmaltz. I need a win right now. And that means I'm going to be making the pumpkin spice latte kick with maple espresso. I saw this one on Instagram, it looked like a win. The woman who makes it, I actually was like so in awe of her. Her page was just full of really great recipes, but like a little involved. First thing it says is to beat eggs, beat something for 2 minutes. So that is a job for my KitchenAid. First thing I'm going to add is 1.5 cups of brown sugar, 4 eggs, 1, 2, 3, 4, along with 1/2 cup of oil. She used olive oil. My palate is just not that sophisticated, okay? I used a neutral oil. Oh, I gotta plug it in. This looks nice and light and airy. Next up, I'm going to add 1 can of pumpkin. And we all know pumpkin is nothing without extra flavors like vanilla and cinnamon. So I'm going to add a little bit of vanilla bean paste in here, maybe like a teaspoon or so. Maybe a little more because it's Thanksgiving. And 1/2 cup of yogurt. I would normally eyeball this, but I have screwed up so much today. Give that a mix. And I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, 2 teaspoons of pumpkin pie spice, and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. Give that a mix. Once that's nicely incorporated, I'm going to add 2 cups of flour and then mix that. Right, that's good. Take a little taste test. Salmonella, I dare you. Okay, it's all right. I'm gonna dump this into a greased 9x13 dish. Oh, I forgot to add salt. Ah, well, we'll get over it. I'll add a little bit on top. How about it? I just washed this with the stickers still on. It's fine, whatever. I'm going to pop this into the oven, 350 for 30 minutes. For the second layer, it's not really a layer, but once the cake comes out of the oven, I'm gonna poke some holes in it and pour this on top. So I have 1/2 cup of like strong coffee. I don't do coffee, I just have this espresso powder, so I got 1/2 cup of water, mixed that in, and then I'm going to add 1/4 cup of maple syrup to this, and I just think this is like the best maple syrup. This is from Costco, and it is the vanilla infused Madagascar maple syrup. That's actually so good. I'm gonna add a little bit more. Like that's such a great stinking flavor. The smell of these things combined alone remind me of the holidays at my aunt's house growing up. Like this is enough for me. The coffee, and then this. Whatever is in here. Oh, absolutely adore. I think it's the alcohol in here, really. Nothing says the holidays like cigars and coffee. Now I'm gonna get the frosting made. It is a cream cheese frosting that seems to pair well with all things pumpkin flavored. So I've got 8 ounces, 1 stick of that going in. And then I also have 1/2 stick or 1/4 cup of butter. And I always get salted butter. And I'm just gonna whip this up. Okay, let that go. For a long time I was deleting stuff off my phone, but that looks really good. To that, I'm adding 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, and then of course, the star of the holidays, some vanilla paste. I'm just gonna drop about a tablespoon of that in there, or a teaspoon, whatever. And then 3 cups of powdered sugar. I'm gonna do 1 cup at a time. I'm adding 1 more cup. The rest of the powdered sugar that I have in my house, so I hope no other recipe calls for it. I thought I bought a Costco size box. Apparently not. Another oversight. Can't catch a break today, apparently. Mix that in. This just came out, looks really good. I'm gonna poke some holes in it. Wait, is it done? I need a win right now. I was going to make Claire's famous 7-layer, whatever it is, dessert, but I don't have crystallized ginger because yesterday I went to 3 different stores on the hunt and no one had it. And I forgot that no one had it. So I just sent Alex out to another store and maybe they have it. I think it's Sprouts. I called, they said, yes, we have some left. It was on sale and I was like, oh my gosh, what does that mean? Some left. About to find out. So I'm gonna make banana pudding. And every time I make this, I screw it up. But this time, I better not. I might crash out, end up in an insane asylum. It might push me over the edge if I screw this up. I can't, I'm not gonna screw it up. And I bought the nice Chessman cookies. My kids were with me at the grocery store yesterday and I said, would you prefer these or Nilla wafers? And I thought they liked Nilla wafers better. I took a poll on my Instagram, most of you do. But for the festive season, I think these win. They're so dang cute. So I'm just going to start layering these on the bottom. I get rave reviews on this banana pudding every time. And I don't eat it. I don't like banana pudding. But I always get asked for the recipe. And that's such a high compliment, right? When you bring a dish and people like it enough to ask you for the recipe. So I really appreciate that praise, but it is Paula Deen's Not Yo Mama's banana pudding, okay? I got a dish that's like slightly too big. I should find a dish that fits everything perfectly. I'm wondering if I just cut them in half, if this will work. Oh my gosh. Perfection. You know, this is what the holidays are all about. Okay, there we go. And guess what? I get to eat the crumbs because I don't have Invisalign anymore. All right, here's the tricky part. That one's cracked, so I'm gonna switch it out. Into one bowl, I'm going to add vanilla pudding, the big box. It's like 5.1 ounces. 2 cups of milk. Perfect. I'm gonna get my handheld mixer because I finally have one. Not giving up today. Nothing's getting in my way. It's pretty hard to mess that up. Next, another bowl, I'm going to add in a block of cream cheese. I'm just gonna soften this up. Well, I totally forgot this was in the microwave. A minute and a half later, it's nice and melted. I'm gonna give it a whip. It's fine, it's actually perfect. And then I'm going to add in a can of sweetened condensed milk. This stuff turns anything it touches into gold. And then speaking of folding stuff in, I have 8 ounces. You gotta lick it, it's the law. I'm pretty sure I add 8 ounces of this Cool Whip. This stuff is magic too, just fold this in. I'm just gonna let that sit for a second while I finish this up. I actually had ripe bananas for this, but I guess they were a little bit too ripe and they got thrown away. So I'm using these and I just thinly slice my bananas and let them fall everywhere and just eat nuts.
Bro, I'm off my diet. That's my diet.
It's not a diet.
Yes,
It's life or death.
That's why it's called a diet.
So listen, it's obviously Thanksgiving and somehow I managed to mess up every single recipe I touched this day. And I'm not even exaggerating. I forgot the eggs. I forgot the turkey neck. I forgot things in the oven. I forgot to layer things correctly. Like literally the list goes on and you're about to witness many more mess ups in this video. So like buckle up, all right? At one point I was getting so wildly frustrated with myself. Do you ever just need one win? Just one easy recipe you can pull off without a headache, without disappointment, without questioning like all of your life choices. That's where I was mentally on this day. But here's the wild part, even with the chaos and all of the forgotten ingredients and the questionable decisions, everything came out so good, like shockingly good. Fantastic, actually, okay? And not to toot my own horn, but this is kind of my brand at this point, right? Like I've always been the type to just throw stuff together willy-nilly, whatever feels right in the moment. I mean, like I spent 2 full years cooking everything at 411 degrees because our oven was broken in the previous house. 2 years. And somehow everything still turned out perfectly, if not like, 9 out of 10. So honestly, moral of the story, zoom out. It is not that serious. Things don't have to be perfect all the time. To be amazing. So Thanksgiving still happened. The food was delicious and everyone survived. In the end, that's all that matters. My mental stability. We'll talk about that later, okay?
Moving right along, this came out of the oven and I'm just going to give it a few holes. This isn't, I don't know what this is. It's like a really long toothpick, a serving pick, something like that. I just found it lying about. I'm just going to, like when I make tres leches cake, but you know, less holes. I don't think it's that serious. A lot less liquid that needs to be absorbed, and the cake will absorb it anyway. I may have slightly overcooked it. And then I'm just going to dump the maple syrup and espresso mixture over top, and this will absorb in no time flat. Oh my gosh, that smells incredible. Yeah, that is going to add a ton of flavor. Love that. I just did some dishes to allow the cake some time to cool. And I'm going to ice the cake, put it in the fridge. That's 2 things in the fridge. 3 things all together. It's like, how have I not made anything yet? And then we'll work on the stuffing. I think this is cool. Oh my gosh, hold on. Hold on, I'm gonna have to lick my finger after this. Yes, yes, sweet, heavenly, espresso-y, but not too espresso-y. It's actually Goldilocks style, the perfect amount. And I am going to take this icing and plop it right on top. Mostly because I'm sure I'm going to need this bowl. And then right before I serve it, I'm going to get some caramel and kind of swirl it into the icing. But you know what, honestly, I'll probably forget.
Yeah, I definitely did forget, but despite that, it was incredible. So soft, so thick, so pillowy, so flavorful. I would make this again in an actual heartbeat, but it makes a ton, so make sure you have someone to share it with.
All right, moving on to the stuffing. This is my favorite. It is the best stuffing I've ever had in my life. It is leek sausage stuffing. I've got the sausage here, and I'm gonna cook it up. So the leeks, we're only using the white part, and I have 2 of them. I don't know what we do with the fronds. Do we decorate with them? I'm sure we could. Martha Stewart could figure it out, but I'm not at that stage yet. So I just cut mine in half, and then I'm going to clean the insides because that can hold a lot of dirt. I've got the sausage on the stove, by the way. Nice and tidy now. Cut off the root. Just going to cut the leeks into half moons. Looks good. And then I have some celery. Same thing with these. And I like to cut up the fronds. I think they have a ton of flavor in there. I forgot how much celery to use, but I'm just gonna do a couple more stalks. That seems right. I'm sure I need an onion for this. I'm gonna reference. Okay, I did add an onion, so I'm gonna just dice this up real quick. I'm gonna add half a stick of butter to the pan I just cooked the sausage in. The sausage is done. I threw it in this bowl. I'm gonna throw all the veggies in here. It's actually a lot of veggies. I'm gonna season it with just some salt and pepper. Give it a mix and let these cook down for just a few minutes, maybe 5. Ah, crud! I actually forgot to cut the sage. So I'm just gonna grab some sage leaves. It's actually a substantial amount. I mean, the stuffing has that traditional flavor of sage. And I think that's why I love it so much. It's such a great herb. Just gonna give this a chop. So fragrant. I'm just gonna toss this in with the veggies. Then for the rest of the stuffing, I did this last year and it was such a time saver. Local grocery store sells like bread for stuffing. It's already hardened. Or you can just cut your own and then throw it in the oven until it's nice and hard and crusty. The veggies are done, so I'm just going to pop them in the bowl. And then to this, I'm going to add half a cup of heavy whipping cream. I'm gonna combine that with 2 eggs. Just gonna give this a mix. This is nice and creamy. I'm gonna mix the veggies in. I'm gonna keep mixing while I pour in the cream mixture. I just don't want my eggs to like scramble or anything. Just keep it moving. Once everything's coated with all of that, I'm going to add a few ladles of the turkey stock over here. I mean, oh my gosh, just look at this stuff. Absolute perfection. I'm just gonna grab it straight in the ladle like this and just add it. It is piping hot. It's been simmering for several hours at this point. Can you even believe it? And I'm just gonna keep ladling it on and mixing until everything's nice and saturated. I'm gonna just dump it into a casserole dish, cover it, and then I'll cook it in the oven tomorrow. taking a break, trying to eat, watching a video of someone making the banana pudding. I ruined that too. You're supposed to do the crackers, half of the pudding, then the bananas, then the other half of the pudding. It's like, are you joking? Can I get one thing right? I give up. Oh my gosh, was that gonna be the end? I was choking on my sandwich. That's how today is going. I'm reading over the recipe, like triple checking everything that I'm about to make. I don't want to screw it up. You want to know something? Alex just ran to the store. Did I tell you about the candied ginger? Finally got some. Do you think we need this much? This is a pound, by the way, a full pound of candied ginger. You know how much we need? 2.5 ounces. 2.5 ounces. Like this. Oh my gosh, I'm so over this. I just don't even want to be around anymore. Oh my gosh, side note. Oh. Oh, it's so spicy. Are you actually joking? Oh boy. Let's go. Okay, I was really excited about this. Of course, when I need a good Thanksgiving recipe, where do I turn but the queen herself, Claire Shavitz. Did I put my food processor away? Well, she did not disappoint, all right? She shared a 7-layer dessert, and I was like, wow, it's got all the flavors of the season. Let's go. Biscoff, you betcha, buying that. How many ounces does it come in? The package is 8.8 ounces. How many do I need, you ask? Great question. 12 ounces. Maybe the airport ones, because there were 2 different packages. There were ones that were individually wrapped in, like, you know, airport style. You get like 2 cookies and I would have had to unwrap them and all the plastic. Maybe that was 12 ounces? Someone put me out of my misery already. I don't care. I'm making it with 8 ounces, and Claire, I'm sorry. I'm going to give these a crush in ye old food processor. I was going to eat a couple, but I don't have a couple to spare, which is crazy. I feel like Costco used to sell, I feel like I have some. I'm gonna look. Cross your fingers, such marvelousness, it's gonna be super fantastic day. I am defeated once again, but I did found some Christmas tree cakes. It's the best I can do in a moment's notice. It's just what I need in a moment like this. Would you agree? Tell me that you don't think I'm crazy. I'm crazy. When I tell you love has come here and now. A moment like this, some people wait a lifetime. Alexa, keep playing. Alexa, keep playing. Alexa, keep playing A Moment Like This by Kelly Clarkson. Alexa, keep playing A Moment Like This by Kelly Clarkson. I can't even listen to my favorite song now. That's what the world's coming to. I can't even listen to my favorite song while eating a Christmas tree cake. All right, I'm just gonna pulse these up. Let her rip. I'm gonna add the butter in here now. I can't breathe for the first time. That smells heavenly. We don't use Biscoff cookies as much as we should. I don't know if I'm supposed to grease the pan, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Just with like the skin of the butter, whatever was left on it. And then I'm going to take the crust and just throw it in here. Did it say half a stick of butter? I'm about to cry. I really might. No, it says 1 stick of butter. Okay, here it is, 1 stick of butter. Very wet. I'm supposed to spread this out. What is that? Oh my heck. Just forget that you saw that. I just, Just forget it. Oh, good, at least I turned my oven on. All right, and then you know what she did? She's so good. She used a glass to like pat it down. I don't have any glasses that are flat on the bottom. Do you? She was like going to town like so. I don't think I can do that. I mean, that's why she's a professional, you know? It's just ruining it. It's gonna use the tools that are hanging off of the ends of my wrists. Good enough. I'm throwing that in the oven. Who knows how long? 350 for 15 minutes. What do I need an egg for? It's over. I'm almost certain I'm supposed to add an egg to this, so. Are you joking? No, they're not joking. Not even a little bit. Not the whole egg, just the yolk. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna add the yolk right in there. Make it nice and rich. You know who's gonna be rich? My therapist. What do I mix it with? Oh, this is so bad. How can I'm so mad. Whatever, mix it up. Better than to lean on me. You don't need to grease the pan. There's so much butter in this mixture, it's not gonna stick. All right, this is 7 layers. Okay, so we've got some things to take care of. First order of business is like the 5th layer. And it's really the only thing with multiple ingredients, okay? So it starts off with some sweetened condensed milk. I'm just gonna pour that into a bowl. Running out of spatulas at this point. To this, I'm going to add the egg yolk. Oh yeah, that's what I like for breakfast. And a little dash of cinnamon. It's the flavors of the season. Let's do it. Mix that together. Got a nice little concoction. Okay, we're about to find out how much is 2.5 ounces of crystallized ginger. Oh, how about ounces? Oh, cool, 2.5. I'll just do that much. That's almost 3. That seems like too much. Does anyone want some crystallized ginger? After Thanksgiving tomorrow, instead of handing out leftover containers, I'm just gonna hand everyone a handful of crystallized ginger. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I wonder how much that was. So for that, I'm just gonna chop this up and push it to the side. Also, shout out to the woman who heard me ask for crystallized ginger in the grocery store and then told me, ooh, like she just happened to walk by. And then she said, oh, I love crystallized ginger. And I was like, you know, we had a little chat about it. And then as luck would have it, I saw her again in the parking lot. Like, what are the odds we checked out at the same time? And she asked me, hey, did you find that crystallized ginger? And I said, no. I asked a million people in the store, no one knew where it was, we couldn't find it anywhere, short story long. And she said, you know who normally has it? I said, I'm listening, Sprouts. Sprouts. Thank you so much. Without her, we would be without this 7-layer dessert. It's just funny, the people you run into, like just when you need it. At that point, I really needed to get home though. I didn't have time to make another pit stop because I was having a little womanly issues, okay? Good news, I got my pants clean, okay? If that's all you need to know. 1 cup of walnuts, and I'm just giving them a rough chop. I'm actually, okay. I'm supposed to add cranberries to the oven with the stuff. Okay. I think anyway, I'm taking this out. I don't care about time anymore. Oh my gosh. I just rubbed this in it and made a huge gaping hole. I would just like to not anymore. Thanks. Fixed it. Okay. I don't know what to do. Okay, good news. Claire assured me that the cranberries go on after. Hallelujah. And after watching, she chopped her ginger a lot smaller, so that's what I'm gonna go in and do. How am I running out of space? Okay, these came out. It calls for 12 ounces of cranberries. I'm just going to dump those right on top. At this point, it's just like dropping everything on top, layering everything. Then the ginger, just gonna sprinkle that everywhere. Okay, that's gonna be a pop of party in your mouth. Then the walnuts, awesome, just right on top. I don't know how I did this wrong. I don't, like, what is wrong? You guys, it clearly says the order in which you do things. Add to top, walnuts, then ginger. What? I've got some rolled oats here. I'm probably doing this wrong. I'm gonna shove these on top. I'm sure she specified how much, but it's whatever at this point. Who even cares? I've messed it up enough. There we go. Maybe a little more? Sure, why not? Then the milk mixture, I'm just gonna drizzle this on top. Perfection. And then on top of that, I have some flaked coconut. I'm just going to layer that on top. Perfect. I'm gonna cover this with foil, cook it in the oven at 350 degrees for 10 minutes, and then I'm gonna take the foil off and cook it for an additional 3 minutes. Well, it's not Christmas without the cranberry sauce, and it's not Christmas at all. It is Thanksgiving. I have a pound of cranberries there, and I'm just going to take the, nubs off of the orange and then dice the rest with the skin on and everything. This is like elevated cranberry sauce if you've never made it yourself. I know some people prefer it out of a can. Honestly, I understand it. Also, very convenient, but some people like it homemade, and I just like to give options, so I'm going to make this anyway. I've got everything I need for it, and really it's just a few ingredients. So I'm dicing up 1 orange, and to a pot I'm going to add the cranberry, the orange, 1 cup of cranberries. These are sun-dried, golden raisins. Did I say cranberries? I'm losing my mind, you guys. At this point, I feel like I could just eyeball it and it's fine. And then we're gonna do 2.5 cups of sugar in here. I know what you're thinking. Wow, that's a lot. I know. That's what makes it so good. 1 cup of apple cider vinegar. I'm just gonna do that much. The zest of a lemon. It's gonna add a ton of freshness to the dish. Listen, the way to elevate is just to add fresh herbs and fresh citrus. I've said it for years and it's just so good. It makes everything taste better. All right, looks good. That is a beautiful amount of zest. To this, I am going to add a little bit of cinnamon, a little bit of salt. I need some cloves, but I can't find it anywhere. So I'm just gonna mix this all together. Oh my gosh, that just looks so beautiful. And then just cook this until the cranberries burst. Hey, I printed out the recipe to make Pioneer Woman's sweet corn. Look, isn't that funny? Huh. Cranberry jalapeno dip is the best holiday appetizer. Starts with 12 ounces of cranberries. Now the holidays can begin. I'm gonna chop up some green onions. The recipe calls for like 1/2 cup, but I always do a lot more than that, about that. Do the same amount of cilantro as well. And then a couple of jalapeno peppers. I do take the seeds out because it's just too much. So to the cranberries, I'm going to add 3/4 cup of sugar. I think last year, or maybe the year before, was the first year that I made like the sugared cranberries, and Avelina really liked them, so I'm gonna make them again this year. But what I've seen going around is a different version of that, where they take like powdered sugar. But the ones that I made was more of a simple syrup, like on the stove, and then I baked them. Same idea, they like popped in your mouth. Okay, now I'm going to add all of this stuff in here. The green onions, the cilantro, and the jalapenos. And then give this a mix. And then I'm going to add the juice of a lemon, and then some salt. Give this a mix, and I let it sit overnight in the fridge, and it kind of develops a lot of liquid. So in the morning I'll drain it and then put it over some cream cheese, the fluffy cream cheese.
Everyone loves this.
At this point in the day, it was getting late. I was obviously like so over it. So I did the cranberry jalapeno dip and I put something else together. I forgot. We'll see that in a minute. I mean, I put more stuff together, more recipes. For the stock, at the end of the night, I let it go as long as I can, just to like, you know, get all the flavors, make it very flavorful and robust and all that good stuff. So I have a strainer and I put it over a bowl and I take out like huge chunks so the strainer isn't overloaded with stuff. I find that this is the best way to do it. And then I'm left with all of that deliciousness to make the gravy the next day. And then I think I put more in my stuffing and I think I did something else with it. I don't know. We're going to find out. Okay. This is the cheese ball I wanted to throw together. I found a picture of a cheese ball that looked like a reindeer. And I said, absolute yes, I need something cutesy to make. I feel like I'm running out of ideas after sharing all the cute, like fun recipes that I have the past 100 years that I've been doing these. I wanted to find something new and interesting. So that's exactly what I did. So I grabbed some bacon, called for, oh gosh, now I don't remember. I'll put the recipe down below, but mostly yogurt. So it's high protein, a dollop of sour cream, some cream cheese, onions. I liked the Costco bacon more than the bacon that I bought. So I was happy to have extra of that. The one I don't know, it just smelled kind of like too smoky, a dash of some hot sauce and, cheese and then shredded cheese. Don't overthink the cheese ball. It's always a win. Oh, and then I went to bed after cleaning the kitchen and I realized, I left this in the oven. Oh, yes, I did leave it. I don't know how long it was in there. Beats me. I don't know who turned it off. Beats me. But I did forget it in there and I was falling asleep and realized, oh my gosh. And then I think the next day was Eleanor's birthday. So I was trying to compile videos as I was scrolling through my phone. So I didn't really end up going to bed until like 1:30. And then I woke up at the butt crack of dawn the next day to try to get stuff done on actual Thanksgiving Day. And oh my goodness, happy to report that nothing was burned. And I actually ate this and it was fantastic. Everything I made was fantastic, by the way. Despite all of the hiccups, all of the mess ups I told you before, I couldn't even believe it. Okay, so the next day I woke up and started to, I think this is the next day. It looks lighter and brighter. Dill pickle dip. Oh, this is the one with yogurt. Okay, I don't know what the heck I put in the other one. I'll link them below as much as I can so you can decipher. So this must be the high protein dill pickle dip. What did I put in the cheese ball? Just cream cheese and shredded cheese. That makes the most sense. Okay, so this has yogurt in it, like a lot of it. I only bought the little container of the pickles, the Grillo's pickles. And this is, I needed more more bacon for this. I don't know what I'm saying, you guys. I'm just as messed up. How are you, my friend? Okay. Dill, obviously, cut that up. More hot sauce. I finished this off. I had it in the fridge. Use what you have first before you go out and buy a bunch of random stuff. Okay. Take it from me. What else did I put in there? Oh, red pepper flakes, of course. And then ranch seasoning. This dip did not get the recognition it deserves. I'm adding even more stuff, a shallot, which is a cross between onion flavor and garlic flavor. It kind of melts those flavors together. So if that's not your thing, or if you can't find a shallot, just use like garlic powder, onion powder. I feel like that will suffice, okay? To be honest, shallots to me are kind of like, oh, really? So this dip I thought was fantastic. It makes a ton, first of all, so don't make it, or half or quarter the recipe unless you really love it and you're going to eat it every single day for a week for lunch. It's a lot. And initially it showed it using the larger Grillo's pickles container, but I bought the small one just because I thought that would look cuter on a charcuterie board. But you know what would look even cuter than that? Just a normal bowl. Use whatever pickles you have. Okay, I don't know why I did that. I think because during summertime, I wanted it so badly and didn't have it. So that was me living out my FOMO dreams. And you know what? # wasn't worth it. I wouldn't do it again. So there's that. I also put together a green bean casserole. We had 2 Thanksgivings, by the way, if I did not mention. We had a full Thanksgiving on Thursday, which was more friends, some of Alex's family. And then my family came on Saturday, the day after Black Friday, I suppose. So like the day after Thanksgiving. And well, I guess you can put 2 and 2 together. Thursday, Friday, Saturday was the next one. And that was more my family. And then we also had a couple of friends over as well. So it was just always a nice time, always a great time whenever we get to hang out with people. But going into Thanksgiving, I think the reason why I had such a weird mood on is because this Thanksgiving looks a lot different than the ones we've thrown in the past, the ones we've hosted in the past, or just the ones that we've been to in the past. It was very missing a lot of family members. And I have mentioned before that like our families are kind of falling apart. It's just not the same as it once was. And a lot of factors are involved in that. And it's just, you know, a lot of emotions going into that. Okay. So I think initially going into Thanksgiving, I just thought, I don't even know who's coming. Like, what is it going to be, us? You know, and even if it's just us, I always say we're enough to have a party. And I think that's why I was overthinking all the recipes. Like, why am I even doing this? You know, so all in all, I will tell you that it was an absolutely fantastic day. It was wonderful. I really enjoyed myself. The one improvement I would have for my future self, and I even told myself to do, was like, have a game, an adult game, kid game, one for everybody. There's one where like everyone gets $1, I think, and you roll the dice. I need to figure out how to play that. It always looks so fun. And that's been on my list for a long time. I don't even know what it's called to like Google the rules. And then another good one is catchphrase. That's a fantastic family one as well. Doesn't take much skill or effort. If you're going to sit down and play a card game, Pit is a good one. Apples to Apples is always a win. And just, you know, just random games. Okay. But that's what I would do in the future if I were to, you know, do another one. Okay. So I put together a corn souffle. It was Pioneer Woman, literally just frozen corn, heavy cream, and butter. And I was like, seriously? Okay. And then I'm throwing together the herb butter for the turkey. This is another thing. Okay. Listen, I grew up watching a lot of different people make Thanksgiving dinners, and they're always huffing and puffing about every single thing. And like literally, I had just huffed and puffed for like 5 hours straight while I was prepping everything the day before. But like everyone is so concerned about the turkey. No one gives a crap about the turkey, okay? I mean, I guess some people do. And people were raving of, oh, it's such a good turkey. It's so juicy, da da da. I'm like, I literally just follow Claire Shavitz and do what she does, okay? Nothing special. I do that simple dry brine overnight. I wipe it dry in the morning, stuff it full of aromatics, which honestly, is that necessary? I don't know. I put more sage, thyme, rosemary, shove that in between, an onion, a lemon, garlic if you have it. I maybe threw a few cloves in there. I can't remember. And then the herbed butter. I think this is where the magic happens. I put, chop up sage, rosemary, and thyme. Mix that in with butter. You guys, I even messed up the butter. How did I do that? I melted it. I forgot it in the microwave and I melted it completely. So I threw it in the fridge thinking, oh, it'll harden. No, it took forever to do that. So eventually I got the turkey in the oven and I did cook it at a lower temperature, which I feel like matters as well. I cooked it at probably 275 for as long as I could until I needed to put everything else in the oven. Then I bumped it up to like 350. And I, low and slow is the way to go in cooking anything. And you want to keep it dry, juicy. So when I took it out of the oven, it was probably a couple hours before we actually served it. But when we did serve it, it was still warm, which was nice. And I will say not everything on that Thanksgiving dinner was warm. Okay. Oh my gosh. Sorry. Someone is here and we haven't seen them in a while. Okay. That's exciting. Hold on one second. Okay. So in the future, remind me, I need more blue table runners. I'm putting the table together, the tablescape, which we did this twice and filled up the whole table twice, despite, weird stuff going on, all the life issues. I honestly was like, we should take half these tables away. Like, there's no way this many people are coming, But lo and behold, just like people show up and I love them so much. I have goosebumps thinking about it. We had such a great time. The kids had such a great time. It was so lovely. If I were to do it again, I would do it exactly the same way. Maybe have a little better attitude while I was cooking, okay? We ended the night with a bonfire and s'mores and hot cocoa, which is like my love language. Couldn't think of a better way to end a night, honestly, okay? Or with better people to share it with. Just chef's kiss all around. Okay. Set the table up. I have the same decorations year after year. Oh, also, I want to also finish my thought. Not everything is like warm when you're eating Thanksgiving dinner. Sorry. I should get those hot plates. And someone told me during this Thanksgiving that they sell ones on Amazon that you can roll up to store. And I was like, oh my gosh. Okay, I'm going to put that on my list to things to buy for Christmas, hosting Christmas. You know what? I don't think I do a real tablescape for Christmas either. I do one in our dining room, but I feel like that needs to be elevated too. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Here's the thing. Some of my family works in like, military, medical field and like first responders kind of thing. So they work on Thanksgiving, which is like, listen, if you have someone in your life who is a first responder, hats off to you. Hats off to the person who is doing the real work. First of all, they need to get paid more. Second of all, oh my God, it gives me goosebumps because missing holidays with them, whether they're out or, it's just, I just want to give you a hug, okay? Because I know how it feels. And so short story long, we had to do multiple holidays. And that happens all the time. And we just adjust and accommodate. It doesn't really matter the day that you're celebrating on. Like, it doesn't matter the day you're eating turkey. It just matters that you're eating it with the people that you love, right? You can do it on any day. So I just want to throw that out there. What was I going to say? Oh, about Christmas. Because Christmas time always looks like that as well. We kind of celebrate on different days. It's like a whole week-long extravaganza, which honestly, I love it. It is exhausting, but man, it is, people say it's the most wonderful time of the year for a reason. And we're just trying to like live it up and do it all. But also, it's really exhausting. So there's that. Okay. I'm filling out these cards, and I gotta tell you, these are so helpful. I got these off Amazon a few years ago, I can't remember, but they've come in handy so often, and I have this like chalkboard marker, and these signs are like erasable. I don't really know if it's dry erase. I don't really know what's happening, but I bought them off Amazon. I'm sure you could find cuter ones or whatever. These are kind of hard to write on because they do have that lip, but it's also awesome because they have the lip and they stand up. Okay, so pros and cons to everything. I just wrote down everything that I was serving, and then as people came with their dishes, I said, hey, what's that? Whoa, someone just drove down the lane like a bat out of hell, okay? Driving real fast. Okay, anyway, what was I saying? Oh, when people came with their dishes, I said, what you got there, girl? And so I would just write it on a little thing. So that way, when people are serving themselves, they're not constantly asking, what's this? Oh, what's this? What's this? What's this? They don't have to ask. It's written out for them. It's self-explanatory. Even if like you think things are self-explanatory, it's corn. That's corn. What's this? That's green bean casserole. How old are you? How many Thanksgivings you've been to, right? What's this over here? It's got marshmallows on top. So like, can we deduce to the fact that it is a sweet potato casserole? No? Okay. But I get it. Not everyone has the same things on their Thanksgiving menu. You know what I mean? What is this white mash? Oh, that's mashed potato. Listen, you might be sitting there thinking, no way people would ask that. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. They ask everything. What is this? Or what's in this? I'm like, sometimes it is helpful if you have allergies in the family to just write like, if it has nuts in it or if it has dairy in it or gluten or that kind of thing, because that I obviously, if someone has an allergy and they're asking like, oh, what's in this, and this, I'm more than accommodating to that. But if it's just some Joe Schmo over here asking me what's in the mashed potato bowl, I'm going to look at them and be like, mashed potatoes, buddy. Okay? If you don't like them, don't eat them. There's no garlic in those mashed potatoes, okay? Listen, that just might be me. I'm just talking out loud. That's all I'm doing. Okay. The mashed potato recipe, make it every year, is fantastic. Add a little bit more cream. I feel like it could have been used a little bit more cream. But I did taste it and I said, you know what, this could use butter, more butter. 2 sticks is always better than 1 stick, and 3 sticks is always better than 2 sticks. I'm just going to go ahead and say that. I also add cream cheese to mine, heavy whipping cream, and half and half, because why not? All right. And if you don't have that, just add milk and it'll be just as fine. Hand mashed is always the best, but if you have one of those hand beaters, don't overdo it. That's what I've heard. It just turns into gummy goodness. That's what I would call it, gummy goodness. I don't care. Mashed potatoes, give it to me anyway. I used a thermometer. I took this out of the oven and I just wanted to like juice it. It was the only time I did that. I really wanted to use my, what is that thing called? Baster. I looked everywhere for the baster. I couldn't find it anywhere. And then I did. It was in the last place I looked. And so I finally took it out of the oven to baste it. one single time, put it in the thermometer. I was like, oh, it's done. So I covered it with tin foil, tried to keep it warm, and it actually worked out really well. I'm putting the cranberry jalapeno dip together. I just use the whipped cream cheese. That makes it the easiest to spread, okay? And then I throw the cranberry dip on top after I strain it, get all those juices out of there. Absolute heaven. Always rave reviews on this one. Took the sweet potato pie out of the oven after having it cook for 35 minutes-ish. Honestly, I don't use a timer. Okay, I just go off vibes, which is part of my problem. And it was still cold. I was like, I gotta throw this puppy back in. So I threw it back in, and then I'll add the marshmallows on top. I'm putting together another like appetizer-ish dip. I even made this one wrong. I am not exaggerating when I tell you everything that could go wrong did go wrong. All right. Right now, you're supposed to put the whipped cream cheese and then spread some jam, spread some preserves, spread some anything. I forgot. And I just put in, and then you put what are those seeds called? Oh my gosh, the nuts, the pistachios over it, and then drizzle the hot honey. I'm like dousing it in hot honey because I was like, something should be filling up these gaps. No, it should be like some kind of jam preserve. Okay, figs, anything, no? So I just, do whatever you want, okay? People still ate that. I don't think it was that great, if I'm just being honest. It tastes a lot better if you have some preserves on there. I ruled the cheese ball into some more green onions, shredded cheese, also bacon bits. Shoved that on the outer layer because why not? And I'm putting the turkey together, and look how stinking adorable this is, okay? A couple of sugared googly eyes, which honestly took me forever to find. I was getting absolutely frustrated looking for them. I know we have them. I saw them when I was cleaning the kitchen. We had them for Halloween, looking all around. I was like, they should be with the sprinkles. They should be up here. They were literally the first place I looked, but I couldn't find them. Okay, so really, they were the last place I looked because I kept looking for an hour longer. For the turkey feathers, oval crackers. That's what I use because that's what I saw someone else do. And I was like, that's genius. Also a beef stick. That's what the turkey is made out of. And I was like, this is the cutest little stinking turkey cheese ball I have ever seen. I've made snowman cheese balls in the past. I've made, I don't know, all kinds of cheese balls. But that's the one I made for Thanksgiving on this day. And it was super cute, super fun, super fantastic. It barely got eaten. I'm not even going to lie. People liked the Boursin cheese more than this. This also, not my favorite. I made 2 punches, and listen, I don't even think I told you this video. I had over 5 hours of footage, so I had to cut some stuff out. I moved a couple of recipes to the next vlog that I'll put out, and they're really, really good recipes, okay, so don't miss it. And then I made a second punch for the second Thanksgiving day. On this day, I had the apple cider, whatever not the greatest, okay? My Publix didn't have any. I had to get it off the shelf. Not great, okay? I don't even think it was spiced. And then I did cranberry, and then I did Sprite. Oh, I'm talking. Hold on.
Is that what it's supposed to look like?
Yeah.
He says you can.
It can look like that.
Does it taste good hot?
No, it doesn't taste good cold or hot.
It's gotta be cold.
Oh God, you took a lot.
Kind of have to be Jewish, I guess.
I love it.
Shut that.
No, I think it's fine.
Tastes great. Look at this.
Stop.
Look at that. Sandwich.
Stop. You're going in for a second?
That's a sandwich.
No. I'm shocked right now. I'm shocked. I'm not even exaggerating. I'm like full blown. I even got this for backup.
No, it's good.
Okay, verdict on the chopped liver. This was the sweet potato casserole, which, by the way, 10 stars. 10 out of 5 stars. Okay, it was absolutely fantastic. I would make it again. I loved the layer in the middle. I'm not even a huge sweet potato casserole. I don't think I've ever made it before. Because I'm like, I don't like it. I mean, I may have made it a couple times. Who knows? Not memorable. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. This one, memorable, delicious. We had someone come on Thursday and be like, hey, and then text us a couple days later, hey, do you have any left over? I'd love to have some more. And he brought some home, which is so funny. So if that tells you anything, okay, it is very memorable, very delicious. And the chopped liver. Claps for the chopped liver. Forgot to mention, listen, multiple people tried it. Multiple people loved it. And I'm like, well, love is subjective. I don't know. 7 out of 10 is the verdict that we got. I'm going to make a few adjustments and I will try my hand at it again. That's what really like almost drove me to the mental institution, you guys, that chopped liver. I'm gonna tell you what, all right? But once they gave their reviews and 7 out of 10, I was like, honestly, I thought it was gonna be a 1 out of 10, not gonna lie. So I was really happy about that. Alex carved the turkey. I'm taking you around our Thanksgiving spread and some of the foods that we had out, really all of the foods that we had out, and just this is the appetizer table, and then eventually we throw desserts on there. The second day that we had it, I had some of these like treats, like the leaf treats from Trader Joe's. I went in my pantry and just said, this, we can put this out, we can put this out, we can put this out. Okay, it doesn't have to be that elevated. It does, like, you know what I mean? Low effort, no skill involved at all. It's not that serious. Put some food out and people are going to eat it if they like it or not. And it doesn't matter. Everyone's going to have their opinions. And, you know, these are the desserts that I ended up putting out. And some people brought some too, which was really nice. And it's just the whole spread. I just love food. It's one of my favorite holidays. And I feel like I just forgot that this day. I just forgot that this was one of my favorite holidays. And when everyone left, Alex and I stayed up. We cleaned the kitchen, and I woke up to a clean kitchen, which was literally one of the best feelings, because I knew on this day I had more prepping to do for the following day, which I didn't film the prep for the following day. I did film a couple recipes that I thought, you know what, I think these are gonna be hits, and they were, so I will share them with you. But I did want to share with you, oh my gosh, a clean kitchen after hosting something like that, fantastic. But then, you know, the garbage pile is always there. This Thanksgiving word search was a hit. It's a dry erase, so you could use it time after time. So that was fun for everyone involved. I feel like whenever I walked by, I was like, oh, I'm going to find a word. It's so hard. It's so much harder than it actually looks. Especially once things are circled. I feel like when everything was empty, I was pointing out words left and right. And then once they started getting circled, I was like, I literally can't see anything. And then I found Black Friday, which was ironic because this day was Black Friday. Did you do Black Friday shopping? Did you find any deals? I didn't shop at all. Literally haven't shopped at all except for the grocery store. Okay. And, this was the second punch that I made so much better. It's called like I call it Thanksgiving punch because I feel like I made it last year. I threw in some extras to make it fancy, which I forgot to do with the first punch because people started arriving and I started getting anxious and I was like, oh, I gotta finish whatever I'm doing, which I always forget to put stuff out. I forgot to put out the cannoli dip. I forgot to put out spinach artichoke dip. I forgot so many things, which always happens, but guess what? It still was fantastic and it's fine. It doesn't even matter. But I love when a punch has like more stuff. This was my family's Thanksgiving. So one of my sister-in-laws made this turkey, like a bun turkey. She goes above and beyond. Okay. I really have to meet her at her level when I'm thinking about hosting. You know, she's one of those. She's like a Pinterest mom. She is an Instagram influencer before there were Pinterest. You know what I mean? Like she's that. And just always going above and beyond. So this was the spread for this day, just giving you a little sneak peek. And well, sneak peek, this is all of it. This is all the footage that I got. And then these were the desserts that we brought out and everyone had. This is the tiramisu that I made. Yes, I made it. 9 out of 10. I would give it an 11 out of 10. Honestly, it was so good. It was so good. There was one thing I would do to make it even better. And my sister-in-law made these and I'm just like in awe of her. She said they were so time consuming. I was like, yeah, I can't even imagine how time consuming these were. Okay. She told me she made them. There's an Oreo base and each little like flower was a piece of like protein cinnamon thing. They're supposed to be like cornflakes or something like that. Large cornflakes or something. So anyway, absolutely fantastic. Little pine cones there. And then the one before on Thursday, someone brought little turkeys, like strawberry chocolate covered turkeys. I showed a little clip of them, but I was talking about something else. So here was the spread on day 1, day 2. You guys, the days are running together, but they were similar nonetheless. Here is one of the dessert tables. I'm wondering if next year I should put like 2 tables out here, one for appetizers, one for desserts, because a lot of people come and bring desserts. So I feel like that's something that we're missing here. I need to figure out a spot like dedicated to desserts, but not on the other island because I feel like that was way too cluttered and right by the garbage can. Oh, and it was also Eleanor's birthday, actual day on this day. So of course we had to celebrate her. I bought a turkey cake. It's a long story with a turkey dress, and obviously having your birthday on Thanksgiving. So she's just my little turkey, you know what I mean? So this was the second Thanksgiving. I put the cannoli dip out. I didn't forget it this day because I made a list of it on my phone. If I don't write it down, I'll forget about it. And then, by the way, if you're doing spinach artichoke dip, the chips are always better than the bread. So I found that out. Also, the little treat tray that I put together with the cannolis on top, those were a smash hit. Our second theme was like Italian theme. So I made meatballs and sausage, which was like rave reviews, okay? And then I don't know, I made several like Italian style dishes and they brought some too. So it was all around great. And I just couldn't enjoy the day anymore. And I hope you enjoyed cooking and hanging out with us too. If you want to, stick around, even though I know you're my bestie already. I'll see you next time. I love you. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving. Bye.